You know what blows my mind? Studies show that 70% of our daily thoughts are negative, and yet some people manage to stay motivated and excel despite being surrounded by that negativity. Today, we're exploring how that's even possible.
That's such a striking statistic. How does anyone overcome those odds?
Well, I recently overheard this fascinating conversation between a professor and student that perfectly illustrates this challenge. The student was struggling with something. I think we
Overcome those odds.
Well, I recently overheard this fascinating conversation between a professor and student that perfectly illustrates this challenge. The student was struggling with something I think we've all faced, trying to maintain excellence while surrounded by people who seem allergic to effort.
Hmm. That reminds me of the psychological concept of social contagion. Research shows attitudes can spread through social networks just like viruses.
Exactly. The professor actually touched on that, calling it the silent war between determination and distraction. He explained how apathy is more contagious than effort, which aligns with studies showing that negative behaviors spread through social networks at a rate 3 times faster than positive ones.
So what's the solution? How do we protect ourselves from that kind of negative influence?
Well, the professor used this brilliant metaphor about protecting your mindset like a flame in the wind. Think about it. Just like a flame needs the right conditions to thrive, our ambition needs the right environment. Research in social psychology shows that our 5 closest associates determine about 80% of our success outcomes.
That's exactly why they say entrepreneurship communities are so powerful for startup success rates.
Right. And here's what I found fascinating. The professor explained that burnout doesn't actually come from working too hard, it comes from working without purpose. Studies show that people who have a clear sense of purpose are 64% more likely to thrive in their careers.
You know, that connects perfectly with Viktor Frankl's research on meaning-centered motivation.
Let's pause for a moment and think about this. What are 3 ways your current environment might be affecting your goals? Take a few seconds to reflect.
That's such a powerful exercise for self-awareness. What other practical advice did they discuss?
The professor made this crucial distinction between motivation and discipline. He explained that motivation is like weather, unreliable and changing. But discipline, backed by systems and routines, is like climate. It creates consistent conditions for growth. Research shows that people who rely on systems rather than motivation are 42% more likely to achieve their goals.
That perspective really challenges the common self-help narrative about just staying motivated.
And here's something else that stuck with me. The professor talked about how the most dangerous group to associate with isn't the openly negative people, but the uncurious ones. Studies in cognitive development show that curiosity has a stronger correlation with academic performance than IQ.
Well, that certainly puts a different spin on choosing your social circle.
Let's try another reflection. What percentage of your daily interactions are with people who challenge you to grow versus those who encourage comfort? Think about that for a moment.
That's such an uncomfortable but necessary question to consider.
You know what really brings this all together? The professor's final request to the student, to pull others up when she succeeded. Research shows that mentorship programs increase success rates by up to 67% for both the mentor and mentee.
That transforms the conversation from individual achievement to community impact.
Before we wrap up, here's what I think makes this conversation so powerful. It's not just about academic success. Whether you're starting a business, learning a new skill, or trying to improve your health, your environment shapes your potential. Studies show that behavioral changes are 65% more likely to stick when supported by your social circle.
That really puts the responsibility on us to carefully curate our environments, doesn't it?
Absolutely right. And maybe that's the perfect note to end on. Remember, excellence isn't just about individual effort, it's about creating an ecosystem that supports growth. As the professor said, your future deserves room to breathe.